Israel is accused of creating the Nakba, the great catastrophe that includes the killing and displacing Arabs and turning them into refugees in 1948. The most widely publicized case is that of Deir Yassin Massacre, a small Arab village near Jerusalem. So, what really happened in Deir Yassin? What is true and what is fake? And what lies behind one of the most fascinating cases in the history of the conflict? It's early morning, and here, at the beginning of the battle for the village, the Israeli forces announce the upcoming attack through speakers, so that women, children, and the elderly can evacuate. By doing so, they willingly forfeit the element of surprise. Something that has never happened from the Arab side, since the beginning of the Arab revolts in 1920, up until October 7, 2024. The fighters sent to Deir Yassin are members of radical underground organizations, the Irgun and Lehi, who did not accept the doctrine of the Haganah, the defense, which later on, as the war ends, become the backbone of the Israeli defense, the IDF. These underground fighters bombed many houses during the battle, resulting in the deaths of over 100 Arabs, most of them fighters, but some were civilians. Between 10 to 20 civilians were shot by the underground fighters after surrendering. It cannot be argued that what happened in Deir Yassin is anything less than a tragedy. This is a fact agreed upon by both sides. Immediately after the event, the leadership of the Jewish settlement sends a letter to Abdallah, the king of Jordan, condemning the incident, clarifying that it was carried out by extremists with contradicting values to the State of Israel and Judaism. Deir Yassin is an unusual event in the history of the Jewish-Arab conflict. The Arab side claims that Israel used it to sow fear, as well as drive Arab residents away from other villages. However, the fear of the Arab residents was also induced by the Arab leaders themselves. It was Husseini al-Khalidi, the former mayor of Jerusalem and representative of the Arab High Committee, who convinced the population that a mass murder, rape, and Israeli attack including tanks was taking place, an event that never actually happened. The Jewish settlement leadership, even during the war, enacts laws clarifying that acts of massacre are unacceptable. There are clear statements that the policies of the leadership and the military condemn such acts. And while Deir Yassin is a singular event, if we look at the broader context, we cannot ignore dozens of terrorist attacks and massacres from the Arab side that occurred continuously from 1920 until today.
ومن ليس عنده بندقية فليجهز ساطوره أو يجهز بلطه أو سكينه.
Just days after the Deir Yassin massacre, 80 doctors and nurses are killed in a convoy on its way to the Hadassah hospital. And a month later, 130 Jewish residents of Kfar Etzion are murdered. Even in the story of Deir Yassin, there are still disputed details, both in Arab society and Israeli society. It varies from version to version, in which the number of victims increases or decreases. During this ongoing debate, the Deir Yassin story has become part of the Arab ethos. And once a story becomes an ethos, the facts tend to matter much less.